Hello everyone. So, unfortunately when I was doing a level 50/60 roulette, I ended up doing the Halatali hard, and rather than redoing the dungeon, I decided I would just show the cutscenes that were in it. There we go. And so this is what we would see. So basically you see that mammoth there with the white pom-pom. We need to kill those to progress in this area, and it's actually a training ground now. As you can see, there is, I don't think they're brass blades, but they are somethings. The final test shall pit you against the finest gladiators ever to grace the something something something. I couldn't read fast enough. And as you can see, we have that beast to fight, and that little guy, and those two, and those two. And they're actually relatively easy to beat, and it just gets a little more complicated with the little guy and that big monster. And upon defeating them, a glorious contest. I was hard-pressed to restrain myself from joining the fray. And I did in fact go as my tank. So, as you can see, this is where I tried viewing the cutscenes on when my video recordings were messed up beforehand. And obviously I had a bit of trouble finding it. But you can see there's the various categories. Not all the time do they have cutscenes. I think for the most part, after A Realm Reborn, a lot of the stuff is in cutscenes. So anyway, I am going to return to Mordona. And I'm going to turn in that class quest, because I believe that's what this was, is what that one was supposed to be. So, I'll just take a quick look in my journal log to make sure I am correct. And that's the only one I see that's completed, and I don't recall actually ever doing it. And to look properly... not sure. We'll assume it's whatever, but anyway. So I have my paladin I could use. I also got my ninja to level 50, which I could also use. Or I could use samurai. And... I don't know what I'm gonna use. I'll just stick with samurai for right now. Attacked by the XIV will hurl me in stardust and dash me from the sky. Not that I ought to be surprised, mind you. Gossip's fleet where adventurers sleep, and I've heard the talk of primals waking. Beastmen won't let a sleeping primal lie, will they? But never mind that. You did well enough to saving those two coachmen. I'd go put some meat on your bones with that reward. Looking far too thin, you are. And so I'm going to yoink this one. Why? No particular reason. But I can equip better stuff. And I'm just gonna see if I can equip... Nope, still not. But anyway. Yeah, so that's my ninja's garb. Not my favorite, but I don't really have any better at the current moment. So I'm gonna go pick up all those quests there, but I'm gonna stick with samurai for now. And then we will head over this way afterwards. And hopefully there's going to be a little more organization. I keep saying that there's a lot of mess with the quests, and I'm not entirely wrong. One thing you'll notice that the samurai doesn't actually have a hunt log. It's just the starting A Realm Reborn ones, basically. that have the hunt log, so can't use that for leveling. And so we need to head this way. And we need to defeat... I believe everything is within here. And as you can see, door's open. So we don't need that. We don't need those. I'm guessing we need whatever's over this way. Oh, I see. There's storage things there. Okay, so I'm gonna drop down here and start fighting some of these guys. And we obviously need to interact with this. I was gonna say blow it up, but no, that's the one over on the other side there. And I probably need to... Sorry, I didn't realize there was a chocobo bud there. Collect that. I will head over here. And I will attack this one. And I guess I need to use this for it to go kaboom. And so I'll jump onto this again. And I don't think we need any more over there. I think the next one is over here somewhere, right there as it were. And I'll just attack this guy for the sake of attacking him. Okay, and the last one is over here. I was gonna say I'm not gonna be able to attack because he's gonna spot me, and yeah, but he'll be dead in like 2 seconds anyway. Thank you, Chocobo. Interesting, my Chocobo. It's got a long ways to level up. Okay, good to know. Alrighty, so now I need to collect a oscillator and something else. Yes, there's a triple triad guide there. And that heads into Lenosa, I believe. Oh no, Northern Thanalan. I truthfully do not remember where these are, so I will just travel out around and try to find them. Well, it doesn't look like it's over there. Don't think it's over here, but I might as well head over this way. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. Oh, I guess there is one here. Okay. We'll attack this guy then. Storage crate. And then we need to retrieve a magic attack converter. And boy, is that slow. So that's probably it for this side. Guessing there's one like piece per area. Be careful not to fall down there, because then I have to go all the way back around. Anyway, so that's it for this part over here. I'm guessing it's not over there. Nope. So I'm guessing that it's somewhere over here somewhere. And yes, I know that was redundant. So it's not there, not there, not there. Not there, because this was the first one over here, correct? Maybe? So I'm guessing it's somewhere over here. Aha! It's right here. Okay, well, I guess this guy's dying. Storage crate. I keep getting that same... that. What explains why I have so many of them? Okay, so that is it for this part, and I will just teleport back to Revenant's Toll, and then we'll head over there. And as you could see, my, or you might not have noticed, but my Paladin is level 52, and which is actually high enough for the next class quest, but I haven't done the right main scenario quest yet to be able to do that, so I have some waiting to do for that, which is why it's okay for me to use my ninja or samurai until I get to, because most of all these class quests are level 50 anyway. I don't believe they're higher than level 50 until we actually reach Heaven's Ward. Anyway. Welcome back. Still attending to business in the workshop? Yepers, because this Jessie lady is a bossy person. Hello, Jessie. Let me guess, you've lost, no broken, no traded for magical beans the parts we needed. Yes, I totally did that, lady. Magic Tech Converter number 49. Developed in the 49th year of the First Garlean Emperor's reign, this mechanical device transforms raw ethereal energies into a more stable form. Magitech Oscillator number 50. Developed in the 50th year of the First Garlean Emperor's reign, this mechanical device emits signals by generating waves in the ether. And Magitech Cannon Barrel number 51. Developed in the 51st year of the First Garlean Emperor's reign, this cylindrical tube is perfectly calibrated to ensure almost no deviation in projectile trajectory. Well, color me mildly surprised. I was half expecting the worst and got, well, less than the worst. Don't get all giddy on me now. You're still not off the hook for stealing away Master Garland, but I'll admit I'm beginning to see why he might feel the need to latch himself onto an adventurer like he might a stray pup. Alright, let's see if I can't salvage this mess of a masterpiece. Phew, I think that's it. Both Magitech and Photon Cannons should be functional. That said, I'm no Garlean. There's no third eye hidden up under this lovely flux, and there's a great deal I don't know about their machina. I can't guarantee the cannons won't misfire, but then again, misfire is better than no fire, eh? Even so, I wouldn't recommend using the weaponry in actual battle. Speaking of the fire, it's high time I got back to the ironworks. Patching up those cannons has given me a few ideas. You take good care of that armor, or you'll have me to answer to, Celebrian. And we wouldn't want that. Your Magitech armor's Magitech and Photon Cannons are now operational. They can be accessed via the pet hotbar when riding your mount. However, please note that these weapons do not employ lethal force and will have no effect in combat. So, if we jump onto the Magitech armor, you'll now see that, well, this pops up by default because of how my settings are, but then you'll also see the hotbar there. And if you remember in the Castrum Meridianum or Praetorium, whatever, Praetorium, we had those weapons when we were able to use it within there. So now we have that as sort of an aesthetic thing in our with our Magitech armor. And with that done, if I get the right buttons pressed on the keyboard, I will talk to Sark Malark. I was like, which one is it? We could hear the explosions. I knew you had made a success of it. This should draw the Garlean's stink for a while, but not for too long. We must be vigilant for... However did I afford such quality munitions, you ask? Oh, Celebrian, you need concern yourself with such trivial details. Nevertheless, your stealth and compassion are appreciated in equal measure. I'm a lucky man indeed to be part of this fellowship, adventurers one and all. And we will yoink that one. Why? Just because. For no reason whatsoever. And those are ones we can't do yet because I'm not done them because they're dungeons. So we will head down that way. And I guess we have that to do. Rock solid. Oh, I see. Maybe this is the one I was... No, there was more than one. I know Halatali Hard was one for the... Mansionary quests. There were so many quests there I've forgotten. My bad. Anyway, so we'll head down this way. And... I will... talk to whoever it is I need to talk to. Who do I need to talk to? I need to talk to Rambro. Not you. Not you. You. Why, if it isn't Celebrian Saragon herself! I was not expecting such a celebrated guest. To what do I owe the honor of this visit? You were directed here, you say? By a man clad in foreign garb? Well, the opportunity you spoke of must surely refer to our latest anthropogeographical endeavor. Why do they have to have such big words? Hi-yi-yi. Quite how he came to know of it is another matter. All knowledge of this project was supposed to be restricted to my organization. But that is something for me to ponder in private. You are here now, and your services will, I am certain, prove invaluable. I must warn you, however, that the venture we have in mind is no simple excavation. An unprepared or incautious adventurer could very well find herself on the unplanned and unpleasant journey to the Thal's Solemn Halls. Knowing this, do you still wish to lend us your cooperation? Of course. I rather thought you would say that. Your courage is scarcely a secret. Now the first... Celebrian, I thought it was you! Hi, Garland. What brings you to St. Conix? Don't tell me. The Alliance has sent you on another realm-shaking, history-making mission to lay low an apparent insufferable foe, yes? No? Ah, I see you two are already acquainted. That is well. Master Garland, our intrepid hero, have here caught wind of the forthcoming expedition, and is kindly pledged to assist us. She has she? Glad to have you aboard, Celebrian. You don't have the faintest idea of what you've volunteered for, do you? Very well, let us begin at the beginning. The Sons of St. Koinak are tasked with unearthing the secrets of long-fallen elegant empire, and that present endeavor aims to delve more deeply into the civilization's mysteries than ever before. But I know that look. In the event that you feel ill-equipped to contribute much on the subject of elegant archaeology, I invite you to recall your encounter with the ultimate weapon. The mechanical monstrosity represented a feat of engineering far beyond the aught Garlemald can presently achieve. Nero told Scava simply awoke it. I mention this by way of a reminder that you have had what one might term extensive first-hand experience with a notable elegant relic. In short, you're practically an archaeologist. Now to the core of the matter. Here in Mordona, there stands an entire elegant structure which we have yet to investigate. I speak, of course, of the Crystal Tower. After witnessing the destructive capabilities of the Ultima weapon and the Lesser Moon Dalamud before it seems wise to treat any remnant from the era with the utmost caution. They must be analyzed, monitored, and above all, kept from falling into the wrong hands. To put it plain, I have no wish to see another megalomaniac legatus wield one of those weapons. It was this thought which first moved me to contact the Sons and propose that the tower be explored. For several millennia, the Crystal Tower remains hidden, buried deep underground. But like so many other things that were better left undisturbed, the structure was freed from its stony prison by the great upheaval which accompanied the coming of the Seventh Umbral Era. It now stands revealed in all its splendor, a gleaming spear of crystal pointed at the bosom of the heavens. We believe the tower to be the repository of much of the ancients' wisdom. Unfortunately, its entrance is guarded by formidable defenses, and we cannot so much as peep through the keyhole, much less set foot inside. These defenses take the form of statues, carved into the likeness of giant swordsmen. The 8 Sentinels, as the Sons are wont to call them, is the first barrier we must overcome. Why not simply fly over them in an airship, you ask? It's been tried before. Any vessel that ventures too close to the tower is blasted out of the air. We either destroy those statues or the front door is forever beyond our reach. My colleagues and I are ill-suited to negotiating such deadly hazards. Thus, if we are to gain access to the tower's secrets, we must needs employ the services of an experienced adventurer. It will be difficult and dangerous, Lebrian, but I can think of no finer woman for the task. If I didn't know better, I'd say you had a taste for these deadly escapades. I look forward to working with you again. There is much and more to be done before you can begin the expedition proper. Take some time to prepare yourself, and I shall explain the challenges that lie ahead. And obviously we can talk to him again. Our first objective is to reach the entrance to the Crystal Tower. As I previously mentioned, however, that will prove no easy task. Our entrance is guarded by powerful defense mechanisms, each utilizing one of the 4 elements of fire, water, wind, or earth. Anyone attempting to simply stroll past these unsleeping sentinels invites swift obliteration. Based on Master Garland's analyses, whatever. However, we are reasonably certain that the attacks of these lethal contraptions can be reflected using a crystal of the corresponding element. Naturally, these crystals must be of surpassing clarity, free of the slightest impurities, much like the flawless specimens used by the Beastmen in their primal summoning rituals. Ahem. Mayhap I should have said exactly like the specimens they use. Were there any other way, we would not ask of this of you. But we need someone to enter the Beast Tribe's strongholds and liberate their perfect crystals. For the moment, I would have you focus on obtaining 2 of the 4 crystals we require. Pray make for Lanosa, where both the Sapsa spawning grounds and Ugamaro mines are located. You may be certain that the materials used in the Beastman's sacred rituals will be well defended. Whether you choose to venture there alone or with companions, I shall leave to your discretion. But whatever you do, please be careful. And so we will go and do that. And as you can see, there's the two options. So we will go to Camp Overlook first. Actually, we're going to pick up whatever the side quest is first. And so this questline, The Legacy of Alec, is actually the questline to begin the very first 24-man raid in the game. Leave me alone. Alrighty. Hata tires of having the possessions of others foisted upon her. It's a Moogle. Seven Hells, are those bloody furballs blind? Skarnfrunk's sin, not Skarnfrunk's win. It's writ clear as day. Ahem. Pardon me, the Moogle meant no harm, I'm sure, but this marks the third time this past fortnight I've found myself in possession of a delivery intended for another. I do not expect all Moogles to be well versed in Rugadin naming conventions, but when they are unsure of intended recipient, could they at least have the courtesy to ask before dumping it off and flitting away unseen? Look closely here. This missive is clearly marked for my brother, Risflo Skarnfrunksin. He makes his home in Limsa and serves on guard duty at Octant more often than not. I have a mind to send this letter right back where it came from, but my confidence in those furballs wears thin. I put my trust in them, and I cannot be surprised to see the letter end up in the hands of one-eyed Hilfer himself. Perhaps you could deliver this letter to Rosflo the next time your travels take you to Limsa, and tell him that though his sister would never think of reading his mail, she thinks he could do much better for himself than some vapid tavern wench. Naturally. And that's the Hildebrand quest there. So, we're actually going to go to Lanosa first. And so I'm not sure if I'm ever going to get to the raids in the game, because that's a lot of coordinating, and I don't do the raids really in the game itself. And I'm sure that they're somewhere up online somewhere. I need to go this way and speak with Rusflo here. If you're lost, you've best get found, and quickly. The streets of Limsa aren't known to be kind to lubbers and loiterers. Letter to Rusflo. Already misdelivered once, the fate of this envelope addressed to one Rusflo lies solely in your capable hands. A letter for me delivered to my sister, of all people? Well, isn't that just bloody brilliant? Perhaps next time those bloody furballs could just forward all my personal correspondence to the Admiral herself. I dare say the consequences would be less dire. 100,000 apologies, my good sir. I am most profoundly sorry for the terrible inconvenience I have caused. You may rest assured that the offending Moogle has been flogged several times with a larger harbour herring as a due punishment for his negligence. Kupo, ow, ow. You may have my word that we delivery Moogles shall redouble, triple even, our efforts to ensure that no previous parcel or missive ever again goes astray. Behold, for I shall now perform for you the Moogle dance of inimitable integrity? Settle your wings, my Moogle friend. I don't believe that will be necessary, and by that I mean, for the love of gods, just don't. Wait a bleeding minute. Am I to believe I'm talking to a Moogle? In the flesh? Well, if this isn't a rare equation, and the Limlane, take me if you aren't a cute little bugger. Just moments ago I'd half a mind to wring the incompetent courier's neck, but I'm not so petty a man as to vent my frustrations on a defenseless ball of fur. Besides, how can I hold it against you, what with the population of the realm burgeoning of late? I'd be lying if I said I myself didn't have the trouble keeping names and faces straight. Any road, what's-her-face here was kind enough to deliver my letter, and I have your word that no more mistakes will be made. As far as I'm concerned, this is all water under the bridge. Oh, you are too kind. The kindest, good sir. As for you, my adventuring friend, I dare say you would make a superlative delivery here if you put your mind to it. Traveling to far-flung lands, rekindling old friendships, and cultivating new ones, staying abreast of the latest happenings in the realm. Why, if there's a more fulfilling career to be had, I know not of it. So, what say you, Kupo? Do you want to be a delivery here, Kupo? Sure. Now that's the spirit. In recognition of your efforts on behalf of our friend, Miss Flo, I hereby waive the stringent screening examination typically administered to those who would join our ranks. Welcome aboard! I am the Deputy Post Moogle in charge of tutelage and training. In other words, your superior. As such, you will address me with due respect and follow each and every one of my instructions to the letter. No pun intended. Are we understood, Kupo? Of course we are. Now allow me to explain your duties. When you see me floating about in the vicinity of where we now stand, you may take this as a sign. I have one or more letters that I cannot be bothered, that I have deemed suitable for your training. Approach me and declare your readiness for the task, and I will entrust one of the said letters to you, along with directions for its delivery. And so your journey begins, Kupo. Mind you, until you prove yourself, I will be overseeing all your deliveries to ensure that you do not shirk or slack in your duties. Not that a dutiful delivery here like you would ever consider such a thing. Yes? Carrier unlocked. Question mark? You attained carrier level 1. You are now able to undertake delivery quests. To review available quests and accept an assignment, speak with Deputy Post Moogle at the Octant. Upon accepting the quest, you will be entrusted with a letter or package addressed to a prominent Eorzean. Deliver it with swiftness and accuracy and earn a name for yourself as one of the most trusted carriers in the realm. And the Post Moogle always rings twice. As you can see, we have the quests here, and I'm just going to make sure I have space for them. Deputy Post Moogle. The Deputy Post Moogle has wasted no time in finding you a suitable training assignment. No, it isn't my promising new recruit. The twinkle in your eyes and spring in your step simply shouts out to me, I'm ready for my first assignment, Mr. Deputy Post Moogle, sir. Do I hear you correctly, Kupo? Of course I do. Well, this is your lucky day, for I've picked out what should prove that perfect task to start off your training. To wit, I have here in my paws a letter that needs delivering to Badarin, proprietor of the Drowning Wench. A simple task, you say? Perhaps and perhaps not, for delivery Moogle's task does not end with the handing over of a piece of parchment. No, the conscientious carrier lends her ear to the addressee and sees the job through until her customer is happier for what has been received. Being the accomplished and eminently visible adventurer that you are, I suspect that your clients will be even more eager to enlist your services than they would with an elusive Moogle like myself. Consider this an honor and a privilege, Kupo. As the one in charge of your training, I shall wait here for your word of your success. You will succeed, won't you, Kupo? Kupo. And so we need to head to the Drowning Wench. And let's take the lift over here, Drowning Wench. And not forget that I had to hit the confirmation button of yes. And depending on the direction of this video, I may also pick up the Blue Mage. But I won't do a whole lot with the Blue Mage because that's a lot of grinding and leveling stuff. Anyhow. Now here's a face what always warms my heart to see. Ever a shining example to all the world be heroes and heroines in all these alls. You've got a letter for me, you say? A letter to Badarin. The lettering on this envelope is so poorly done that it is only thanks to the keen eye of your Moogle superior, supervisor, that you know it is addressed to Baterin Tenfingers, Darning Wench founder and proprietor. Would have figured you'd have more pressing tasks on your plate than plain messenger girl, but who am I to... What's this? Ah, bugger me, if all the times for him to show up, ain't to burden ya, but I'd be much obliged if you could help me with a simple task. Offer Baterin your aid? I knew I could count on ya. Aye, the moment I saw your face, I knew the navigator had guided ya back here for a reason. The reason? To help me settle the score with an old acquaintance of mine. Aye, the man's worked up quite the bill, and it's past time for a reckoning. You're to find the jerk and bring him here to old Baterin. I can trust ye with that, aye. You'll find him out in the middle of Lenosa, a rugged fellow of his imposing stature, and less than imposing brains, like as not up to trouble of some sort. Oh, and speak with Sir J.B. before you set out. She's prepared the perfect welcome gift for my dear old mate. And Sir J.B. So you're the adventurer going out to greet her guest of honor, are you? Baterin hasn't told me much about the man, but his steely gaze speaks volumes. As you know, Baterin was an accomplished sellsword in his younger days, made his share of friends and more than his share of foes, and the latter none too shy about bringing trouble onto the premises. A rugged fellow in Middle Lenosa, was it? But I'll pry no further. One thing I've learned in my time here is not to poke my nose in disputes that don't involve me. Here's the gift Baterin asked me to prepare. I trust that it will serve you well. And so we're going to go and do that Legacy of Alleg, and then whatever I decide on. We'll probably do the second part of the Alleg thing too. But first thing first, hopping onto the mount here and heading in the correct direction. I do that every time. And so we need to make our way all the way over there. Which means passing a bunch of kobolds and grenades and various other things. And apparently fates. And so we need to head down into here. And yes, they are level 48, so you want to be a little more careful. And just through here should be this. Destination. We sense a hostile presence. Intruder, some sort, something. And we've obtained that. So next we will go this way. As you can see, my journal log, I have a lot of closed quests. Most of those are all dungeons, which I will do, and then I will save turning them in for probably the next video, so I'll be working on doing those dungeons So they should be in Wednesday's video, the turning in of the quests and whatnot. And if there's cutscenes that are relevant to the quest line itself, I will also record that. Oh, there is a cruel amount. I knew there was. I think that's with the collector's edition of A Realm Reborn or something, where it's in the Mog Station. I'm honestly not sure. And I think I went the wrong direction. Yes, I need to go where that Sahagin was. I need to go through here. And then I need to head this way. And I guess this way? Then I need to make my way that way. And I don't care if these guys follow me. And you need to head this way. Unfortunately, there isn't the fate just yet. Now let's see what follows me. Anything? Are they gonna stop? Ha ha ha. I was like, oh, but one is gonna stop. And then the one, because I waited, it stopped. Perfect. And so obviously we're probably gonna have to fight something here as well. Sahagin Wave Rider. And there we go. So I'll hop up onto my mount. And I was going to do this, but I'll save that for some other time. That's Hildebrand. This is the debt unpaid, that's the storyline. So we'll finish this. I'll probably get to the Temple of Corn slightly later in this video. And then I'll work on the Moogle quests and or Hildebrand quests at some point. But well, after this turning in, I will do the dungeon. So then I can progress in the main scenario quest. There's so many side quests, it's hard to keep track of what's what and all that. I really like the blue crystals. I'm not sure that I've mentioned that before. Anyhow. So, I need to speak with Ambrose. How progress your efforts in infiltrating the Beastman strongholds? I am already done. Flawless Earth Crystal. This unembellished Earth Crystal is the main component used in the ritual the kobolds perform to summon Titan. Flawless Water Crystal. This unblemished water crystal is the main component used in the ritual the Sahagin perform to summon Leviathan. So these are the famed flawless crystals of the beast tribes. I have seen countless specimens from I know not how many excavations, but nothing to compare to these. Their purity is astounding. You have done well, Celebrian. With these in our possession, we lack only the crystals of fire and wind. The former lies in Zarak, the war camp of the Amalja and Thanolin, and the latter in Natolin, the roost of Ixal in the hills of Kawarthis. You can expect them to be as closely guarded as the first two, if not more so. Still, I look forward to receiving word of your resounding success. And so we will go and collect those. And then next I will do the dungeon. Alrighty, and heading over this way. And I never noticed that big tall building thing before. It's actually kind of cool. And which is way up there, which I don't think we can get to. But anyway. And there we go with that. And next I will head to Coarthus, to the area of the XIV. So one thing that I always do if I'm in a kind of a hostile aggressive area is I jump onto my mount right away. So if I do get interrupted in teleporting, then I can at least run away. And I went the wrong way. I need to go this way. And through here. Just over there. If I'm really lucky, I will stop before they reach over here. You shall see. And he did. Good, good, good. And there we go, but I will not do that just yet, and I'm going to teleport to the Temple of Horn. Just be over there since I'll probably have to end up being over there anyway. And so we'll head over there. And I always find it interesting that the Temple of Karn is right there. The little Umulja, Beast Tribe, that's good guys, so to speak, are there. Anyhow. Alrighty, and here we go. And tra-la-la-la-la. As you might have seen in the chat, it was confusing because I wasn't sure if it was Temple of Karn Hard or Temple of Karn that we needed to do, and it turns out it's Temple of Karn. And I looked up to make sure, so I didn't waste my time recording the wrong temple. And I did try to do this by myself, but I found that it was far too difficult, and then I realized what the first boss was. I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. So I decided to get a party. And thank you for my free company mates helping me out again. I honestly can't remember if we need those or not, but it doesn't hurt to grab them. And as you saw, we all wiped. So the mechanics for that one casts a doom. It's an instant kill, so if you don't go onto the glowing orange tile, it will kill you. And then the bees have like an instant death thing if they finish casting, so it's really important for the DPS in particular to attack those and kill them. And so take two. There we go. There we go. Let's try that again. That's ridiculous. And so we need to head over this way. There we go. Them evil crocodiles. That's a cutscene we've already seen. I can't remember if it's recorded, but it's just basically that thing appearing. Alrighty. Alrighty, and we will now return to Slaffboard. And we need to speak with Slothborn here. You'll have to explore the sunken Temple of Karn if you're to find a wardstone. Succeed and you earn the undying gratitude of the Adventurers Guild. Fail and Thal will reward you in the next life. Belladian Wardstone. Enchanted with magics of questionable potency, these stones are coveted by the scholarly and superstitious alike. You found a wardstone? Incredible! Can you not feel the power that emanates from this humble stone? Eh? Not really? Ha! Just like an Uldan, practical to a fault. Let me tell you, there's more true magic than you credit in taking all possible precautions. One thing's for certain, the temple managed to stymie more explorers than ordinary dangers can account for. If any of that can be attributed to this stone, then it's Garleans and Beastmen who will have to settle their accounts with the gods. And we will yoink that one. Slothborn's brow is clouded with worry and the forecast calls for rain, unless you can save the day. What to do, what to do? Ah, Celebrian, mayhap you can cut this knot of ours. Revenant's toll grows yet does not prosper. We draw adventurers from far and wide, or rather the Alligan's runes draws them. So busy are they collecting tombstones and relics that they've no time for calls for the Adventurers Guild. I fear that many who come to the toll have no sense that we are a guild. You visit Rowena's establishment, did you not? That's the kind of bustle and camaraderie I'd like to see at the guild. Now, tales of your derry-do are certainly known to all. You're the genuine article, and I'd ask humbly for you to render some services to us in this matter. If you were to rid the wilds of the seedkin that threatens the Toil's expansion, it might inspire some fledgling guildmates to do the same. Those laboring on the outpost's frontiers are being harassed by Morbles coming through the tangle. I would have you help keep the workers safe by slaying them before they've a chance to leave the wretched home. Once others see such a storied adventure as you working to expand Revenant's Toll, they'll surely be inspired to do the same. And so we need to go kill stuff over there. And obviously we have that quest to turn in over there, but I will leave that for now. In fact, I'm going to hide it. If I press the right buttons. And obviously we have that Moogle quest as well. But as I said, I would work on the main scenario quest. There we go. That took all about 2 seconds. And surprisingly, the Nyx are pretty much ignoring me. Which is kind of a surprise. I just guess I'm just far enough out of their range. Or they know they'll die if they attack me. I don't know. Okay, so talking to Slothborn again. Ah, Celebrian, the Adventurers Guild has marked the completion of their request for aid and honors your service. Already the toll buzzes with talk of your valiant excursion into the Tangle. Not a few adventurers have chosen to help on the frontier. Know that the science will hear of your success. And I'll also yoink the pending one, and before I forget, I'm actually gonna go equip those. When a man like Slothborn thinks well of you, you are wont to find yourself performing a dangerous and unpleasant task in short order. I forgot to mention before, I received word from the guild that they've seen more adventurers take up job requests in the last few days than in the past moon. But of course, one good turn leads to another, we hope. There's a job that might be too much for those who have expressed an interest. We'd like you to handle this one before an unprepared adventurer meets an untimely end. We received word from a scouting party we sent to the Slinging Shards that a group of Hapilits is making passage impossible. Someone needs to take care of them so the scouts can make progress. Not that I have no faith in the other volunteers, but I suspect few of them have stood against a Hapilit. Ignominy isn't something we can afford at the present. We have appearances to keep up if we are to maintain our growth, after all. A seasoned adventurer like you ought to know that a bad reputation's like a bad breath. No one will ever speak frankly of what ails you. And so we need to head out of that way. And then down here, around a few corners. I don't care if that chases me. We need to kill 2 more. I not believe I can see the thing right there. And 1 more. And so I'll teleport back to Revenant's Toll just to save a little bit of time. And Slothborn. You return and look none the worse for wear. I rejoice to remark. Your reputation precedes you yet again. The 7th heaven is abuzz with talk of your deeds. You've already signed up a score or more to answer further requests from the guild. Revenant's Toll grows and prospers to the benefit of the guild and the science. Did I not tell you there is much magic in being prepared? And we have aiming, healing, and casting. I'm going to go for the aiming, and I believe I can not equip that, apparently. Slothborn. And we finally get some better gear. But I think that's not as good as what my paladin currently has. Oh, nope. I stand corrected. That is definitely better than what my paladin has. And obviously Lancer, Dragoon, blah 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 blah. Anyway. And there's a buffalo cap. Minion. Slothborn seems intent on putting you to work yet again. I can't tell you how grateful we all are to have you here. Now, more than ever, we have a major crisis on our hands, you see. One which will demand your full attention for weeks, if not months. I'm sorry, Celebrant. If you've made other plans, you'll just have to cancel them. You honestly believed me, didn't you? There's such a thing as being too long-suffering, you know? I fear we may have overdone it with the errands, necessary though they were. Anyway, your work here is done, for the time being, at least. Master Alphino has sent word that you're to report to him at the Waking Sands. I gather he wants to know how you've been getting on. Be sure to tell him how welcome we've made you feel, won't you? And so we will head to the Waking Sands. Bye, Tataru. Bye, Tataru. And thus we will speak with, I guess we'll speak with Flaming first. How she has grown since last we spoke. She puts me to shame with her accomplishments, and for that I am full glad. Elfino. Celebrant, you've returned. I trust they kept you busy in Revenant's Toll. We have had nary a moment's rest since you departed. Despite our best efforts, however, we've begun to fall behind. No matter, we shall soon make up for the lost ground with you here to help us. Now, there are a number of packages which must needs be delivered to Revenant's Toll as a matter of urgency. Don't give me that long-suffered look. I only require you to take them upstairs to Tataru. She will handle the rest. The packages are scattered about the halls, but each is clearly labeled, so you should have little trouble finding them. Now, if you will excuse me... Your report? Later. Okay, I guess we'll talk to... Wait, what? Gather the labeled packages. So, apparently we need some from... labeled package. Since it's been a bit, I'm going to repair... I clicked on the wrong one. I'm going to repair my gear. Now, but that I clicked on that one, however, you sell potions, do you not? Yes, you do. And I do think I require some. That should suffice. That's better, because I ran out of those, and I had barely any in that fight of my attempt to do the Temple of Corn by myself. If I had better gear, I think it would have been fine. But I'm still pretty much a weakling in comparison to solo dungeons, so that's okay. I had hope. Oh, I missed one over there. My bad. Labeled package. And it's slowly... Alrighty. And I guess the last one is in the solar. Hello, Minfilia. Have you been keeping well, Celebrant? We may have earned ourselves a respite, but there is still much and more to do. Together, let us continue to shine the crystal's light upon Eorzea. Labeled package. And just out of curiosity, the postwoman, the gambler, the heart of the party. There's supposed to be a Warrior of the Light title or something, but I don't know if that's just a title that's changed in the game, or if we're supposed to be able to have it, because I thought we were supposed to be able to equip it. But okay. Anyway, so now we need to take these to Tataru. Hello, Tataru. Wow, so much to do, so much to do. At this rate, we'll never get to Revenant's Toll. Labeled package, marked for shipment to Revenant's Toll and filled with heavy unknown items. Remember to lift with your legs, not your back. Were sound advice. Bless your heart, I had completely forgotten about those. Let me check the labels against my list. Oh, these are the last ones. Thank the 12, it's almost... Oh dear, I did contact the courier, didn't I? It just so happens that I had been meaning to contact you, Celebrian. I have an important personal request, you see, which I couldn't possibly entrust to anyone else. And so we're going to make that sword. Before I forget, I'm actually going to oh, I guess I can't equip it because I have my inventory full. And we also got a new minion, so I'm gonna use that. First, let's get this sword out. I shall just put that there for now. This in here. And there we go. Tataru. Tataru requires you with a grim countenance, whatever could that be? Out of curiosity, I want to see how that looks. Probably go for that. Anyway, Tataru regards you with a grim countenance, whatever could that matter be. Preparing for the move is taking a terrible toll on everyone's mental and physical well-being. People have been carrying on for days at a time with barely any food or drink, never mind rest. Some have been too busy to visit the privy, for God's sake. I try to lift their spirits, but encouraging words simply aren't enough anymore. Given that nothing short of hitting them over the head with something heavy will persuade them to rest, my only remaining option is to try improving their diet. I know just how to do it, too, with a special tonic proven to revive flagging spirits. But for that, I require Highland tea leaves, and the one merchant I know who sells them is completely out of stock. Harvesting them myself isn't an option either, as the plant only grows in Kawarthis, and I'm in no position to leave the Waking Sands at present. But you are, Celebrian, and since you now understand how important this is, you'll surely agree to assist me. Great! I'll take that silence as a yes. I learned the recipe from an Ishgardian acquaintance of mine who serves at Camp Dragonhead. Medgustel's her name, and she'll know where to obtain Highland tea leaves, I'm sure of it. Godspeed. So, we will head our way to Camp Dragonhead. And then after we do this little sequence of quests, unless of course we're tasked with something else, that will be it for this video. And so starting next week, I will actually be doing another game in the playthrough. Another game playthrough of Stardew Valley. And so I'll have a banner update on my YouTube page, but also I'll mention this at the end of the video again, and I'll explain it more then. So, before I get into that now, we will be doing, speaking to Medgustel here. Now there's a face I shan't soon forget, not after all the chaos you left on your in your wake. 'Twas for the best, of course, but still. Tataru sent you in search of Highland tea leaves. Ah, had you come but a few bells sooner, I'd have given you my remaining supply. Alas, you did not, and now I have none. Where did I acquire my stock? Emmanuel, where else? He sells more than wines and spirits, after all. So, I need to speak with this Emmanuel person who is over here. Emmanuel. As ever, it is a pleasure to serve such an esteemed personage as yourself. Alas, I cannot furnish you with that which I do not have. I know not when my next shipment will arrive, but I fear it will not be soon. Assuming you cannot afford to wait, might I humbly suggest that you consider harvesting the leaves yourself. If you travel to Boulder Downs and scour the riverbanks, you should have no trouble finding the plants. The real challenge will be keeping the local fauna at bay while you set about making the tea. But what are more beasts to the brave adventurer who fought at Lord Haurchefant's side? Actually, let's go on the chocobo. I think I still have it. Oh, no, I guess I don't have it dressed in its winter attire. Okay, so that's for Hildebrand, and we need to go that way, apparently. So I guess we have to go this way anyway. And I won't do the Hildebrand quest yet. I will say that for the next video. So I will collect these Highland tea leaves, and then I'm assuming after we've collected them, I have to return to Tataru. And so once I've done that, I will end the video there. So as you can see, I swapped the paladin Highland tea leaves. And conveniently, I spotted that I had the mud puppies here, so I did that as well, but I will probably edit that out. And apparently this one is a fight. And the next one is over there by that mud puppy, who will hopefully not spot me if I'm lucky. And if I'm not, it will spot me. So before it can, I'll hop up onto this and travel to the next location, which is apparently another fight. I'm gonna switch to my I guess I can't, because I was spotted. There we go. And so now we need to return to Tataru. And someone is apparently fishing. So as I mentioned, I'm going to start another playthrough of Stardew Valley, and that's for two reasons. One, some of the dungeons are going to be blocked by my lower eye level, so item level, and so this gives me the chance to both farm Poetics to get better gear, so the Ironworks gear, for the quest lines, so I can continue on and do those dungeons, and also prepare for Heaven's Ward expansion, where I will have need of the higher eye level, and so that I also have time to level up my character. And the Stardew Valley videos will be a lot shorter, and I'm going to mention this again on Wednesday's video and also Fridays, so the first video of Stardew Valley will actually be on Saturday. I'm at my wit's end, Celebrian. This tonic is the science's only hope. Without it, I don't know what will become of us. Please, you have to find those leaves. Highland tea leaves. Harvested from a species native to Aquarthus, when brewed, they yield a refreshing tea. This is not how Tataru intends to use them. You brought them! You really brought them! Thank you so much! There's no time to waste. I shall begin brewing without delay. A dollop of honey, a fresh sprig of mint, aloe extract, just so. Tincture of tea, but no more than a hint, to buoy my beloved beau. Nix eyes and flan flesh, ground to a paste, fresh ogre awful for... The news! Wow, I knew there was something I'd forgotten to mention! Ill tidings, Slebbian, as ill can be. Another crisis in the making. Yet, Totteru. And we'll speak to Totteru. And there's a shield. But it's not as good as the one we have. Because the one we have is this. Which I spent and bought. But though you would not have thought it possible, Totteru has somehow managed to adopt a countenance still more grim than before. A messenger from the Twin Adder came to the Waking Sands while you were in Kawarthas. I wasn't privy to his conversation with the antecedent, but I did see the look on her face after he took his leave. Something is definitely amiss. Could it be the Ixal have summoned Garuda again? Or mayhap Imperial forces have been sighted within the Shroud? Well, whatever it may be, I'm absolutely certain it is nothing that you can't handle. Now go and ask the antecedent if there's anything you can do. Except that we will do that in the next video, so that's it for this one. Thanks for watching!